Today, I'm going to tell you something about quadcopters. In this presentation, you will expect the characteristics, the capabilities and limitations of quadcopter being discussed. It all begins from the history of aircraft. Since ancient times, flying has been the luxury of the animal birds on this planet. Mankind have been trying ways to reach the sky, to lift their body off the ground. In the 18th century, mankind has invented the first hot air balloon. This hot air balloon lifts them off the ground, but it doesn't let them maneuvering through the air. 100 years later, they invented the airships. This airship was not much different from the hot air balloon, with some propeller turbine attached at both of its sides. Still not much of maneuvering capabilities. And it was until the 20th century in 1901, Wright brothers invented the first modern aircraft. Their ideas have spurred the new industry in human history, the aerospace industry, the aviation industry, and they actually pioneered the ground, and many new inventions emerged out of it. 20 years later, the first multi-rotor aircraft was invented. This was the first helicopter model in 1920. Moving on to the current era, we have begun using electricity as our main power source for most of our electrical machines, including aircraft as well. So, this is the quadcopter model that we have. A quadcopter is much more capable and more superior than its predecessor multi-rotor aircraft like the helicopter, due to its stability and high maneuverability in the air. So, how does the quadcopter work? First of all, we would like to show you the parts and components that is on the quadcopter. There are 4 motors. In the middle, there is the flight controller and its sensors. In order for a clean flight, close cooperation between the software and the hardware needs to be very good. The role of the software is to obtain the input data from its sensor with the help of good software algorithm that could process those data and make them into useful output such that the aircraft can fly stably in the air. I would like to show you a video on the maneuvering capabilities of quadcopter. This video shows that a drone is actually navigating through tiny holes like the windows. The quadcopter is much better than a conventional helicopter due to its stability, and they are much more agile than a helicopter. They could perform flight that other multi-rotor aircraft can never do. This is how a quadcopter flies through 2 different aircraft which are in the air. And they can even fly through a hole from the bottom or from the top. As you can see over here, they can maneuver swiftly through the air. And all of this motion was done by computers. It was controlled by programs. And the quadcopter over here is trying to land itself on a flat surface. And even though the surface is not oriented, is oriented steeply and even upside down, it was not an issue. Quadcopter motors have to be configured in such manner. This is to provide stability for the aircraft. In order to let the aircraft to hover, you need to rotate 4 of its motor at the same speed. In order for the aircraft to yaw, either pair of its motor needs to rotate much faster than the another pair. In order for the drone to roll or to pitch, we need to rotate much faster for one of its motor. We could tap into the amazing capabilities of Quadcopter by using it in certain areas. The first area is in aerial photography. Novices, professional photographers can use drones to take beautiful pictures. The drone can be used in construction sites. Engineers, designers can use drones to collect the data regarding their land, to survey a specific land before beginning their plan, their design. And quadcopter can be used in farming as well. This is a big thing, as drones can help farmers to apply fertilizer and to apply pesticides. To a much more better level, farmers using drone can actually monitor the health of their crops. And with those data, farmers can actually map out the actual plantation size, and they could use other machines to help them to automate the whole farming process. Drone can also be used in medical area when it comes to emergency response. Next time, the paramedics no longer need to carry the bulky first aid kit with them. The quadcopter could take care of that. Quadcopter can also be used for aircraft inspection. Not only that, building inspections and ship inspection, like the oil tankers. This is much more labor saving and time saving because most large structure has a huge amount of surface area. Therefore, the drones can actually provide the workers a close visual inspection for any damage symptom on the surface of the structure or buildings. This is much better compared to without the drones doing their job. In product delivery, big companies like Amazon or UPS has begun using drones to send their products to the customer. This is a very brilliant way, especially in rural areas where courier trucks are not able to navigate through those rough terrains. Therefore, postmen have to control the drone remotely to send the product to their customer front door. So, the limitation and the quadcopter can be used for art performances. Over here, the drone can actually perform beautiful arts in the air. This is a video taken during the Winter Olympics in 2018, South Korea. So, quadcopters has its own limitation. The biggest limitation is the battery supply. Small battery provide 3 to 5 minutes, but larger battery only 20 to 30 minutes. This is due to the fact that quadcopters obtain its thrust all from its motor, unlike the fixed-wing aircraft where they could get their thrust from the wings. Therefore, this is why that the motor is consuming the battery power all the time once it is off the ground. If this problem can be solved, quadcopters would be a much better aircraft in all multi-rotor aircraft design. Future of quadcopters is limitless. The quadcopter can be used in various research, such as the research of a new invention of aircraft which are capable of taking off vertically and land vertically. The program involved in quadcopters are useful for many other areas in terms of control system and so on. Before we leave this presentation, I would like to share with you one footage when it comes to AI and quadcopter merged together. This video is taken by MIT Research Institute. This is the autonomous plane, and there's a human pilot plane to keep track of the motion of the aircraft. This is the computer-generated view of the actual situation. It will avoid the obstacle once it detects the red markers on the screen. You avoid the obstacles and provide it a future predictive path. That's all for the presentation today. We have talked about the characteristic of Quadcopter, its capability and limitation. The future of Quadcopter is promising. Hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you. In order to operate a drone, it varies according to which country that we are in. But there's a general rule of thumb where if you wish to operate a drone, it must be without a license. It must be at least below 400 meters. And the drone should be less than 1 kilogram weight so that we can operate a drone without a license. Well, a drone could be a toy as well as a professional tool. It really depends on how we look at it, in which area that we use the drone for. As a student, I find that drone is something really useful for us to learn about programming some deep subject which requires a really huge amount of background knowledge. So a drone can be a starter guide for us to learn about those deeper stuff.